Hi there, action fans. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And in my next choice of one of my favorites action franchises, I'm going to pick Rambo. John Rambo is played by action icon Sylvester Stallone. There are 5 installments in this series. Some are better than others, but what I liked about it, no matter where they took the series, is where I thought it was going to go, they didn't really go. So, but the thing is, Stallone's take on the character always had a sense of vulnerability and humility in a sense. And I think that grounded the character and made him a lot more um, easily relatable, no matter how cartoonish it may have gone at one point. So if I have to rank them, I'll start off with Rambo Last Blood, which came out in 2019. It was almost a decade since the last one. There was a point where he was supposed to fight even a monster, which thank God that wasn't done. But then this other version, which is basically John Rambo is doing Liam Neeson's part in Taken. I don't know if that was any better. It ends up with a booby trap laden farm sequence, which kind of plays almost like a horror movie, kind of like the Saw series. So I don't know if this was the send off I wanted. It's a good action packed entry, but I think I was disappointed. This is not the send off I wanted. I thought it was going to go back to the roots like the first one, and I'll get back to the first one later. Next up, we have Rambo 3. So basically, they took all the explosions, the action of the second one, and say, look, that's what people want. Let's just give him more of it. But the story just won't be great. He's just going to rescue, his mentor Troutman and have basically a non-compelling villain try to stop him. And it kind of fell flat, and that's why after 1988 there wasn't another Rambo till 20 years later. And that's my next selection is Rambo, simply called Rambo. Came out in 2008, where Rambo is sneaking some missionaries into Burma. They get captured by these mercenaries, and he has to try to rescue them. This is a very different Rambo. The action sequences are gory. Body parts are flying, blood is splattering everywhere. This is not the 80s films that we knew where there's a little bit of blood and people just fall to the floor. This is like people are exploding with the bullets he's using and stuff. Really uber violent, but I enjoyed it. There was, I think it's the highest body count in the series, and it does depict some scenes of genocide and torture, in Burma, and it showed a lot of stuff happening there. So I thought it was really good as part kind of a documentary a bit and showing the atrocities there, and then of course the uber action of Rambo. So it was a good entry in my opinion, and it's a solid film. Next we have Rambo First Blood Part 2, where they kind of remove the drama a little bit more and make it into the action superstar that Stallone will be. This was the 80s, it's 1985, so this had to be super action packed, lots of explosions, lots of killing, a lot of action sequences. But I think what saves this movie at the end, there's always a part where Rambo kind of says he'd rather not be fighting at all. I mean, he knows what he has to do to get out of here. He's gonna fight to survive. But if he had a choice, he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't doesn't want to fight. And I think again, that's what bring this could have been super. It is cartoony, but it could have been so out there that you can't relate to him. But there's these times that he mentions, I'd rather not kill these people. I don't want to kill anybody anymore. I'm done. And I think that's what saves this film at the end. As cartoony as it could have been, like really like Rambo 3, where it's kind of uber cartoony and you kind of they lost focus. This still has a little bit of the grounding of the character in that sense, where he doesn't want to kill anybody. Of course, my favorite is the first one. It started it all. This movie was kicked around for many years. Paul Newman was attached to this. Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Stallone was like the 15th choice. He took it, pitched a new idea to it, removed a lot of the dialogue, made the character very stoic. But it's basically Stallone goes into town looking for one of his friends who he fought in the war with. He finds out he got cancer. Um, Brian Denny, who plays the sheriff, tries to kick him out and out of the town. He doesn't want to go out right away, They capture him. There's like a scene where they hose him down in the sheriff's station, the sheriff's house, and it kind of sets off as his PTSD, excuse me, and it sets him off on a killing spree. Um, there's not a high body count, but it is brutal. But he's still grounded here. He's still human here. So when he gets hurt, he's hurt. Like you see him sewing himself up. He's like, he does. He's human here. This is it's a human character, and I like the part where there's that ending with Troutman. Troutman is there. They think there's there to save Rambo. He's just there to kind of hide his mistakes that he made with these soldiers, and Rambo was his best one. So he's not really there at the beginning to do anything right. He's just trying to hide his mistakes. And it's interesting to see Troutman and Rambo talk at the end, and how the Rambo character is broken. How the war destroyed him from within. And that breakdown, that scene, that drama is what really blew that movie into a different category. Instead of a generic action movie, there was something more to this. And unfortunately, the series kind of oversteps it a lot and makes Rambo just this killing machine, which he's not. Like I said, in the second one, he does mention he doesn't want to kill, but he knows he has to do it to get out of there. And then the third one and the other ones, he does become this killing thing, but he doesn't. But like I say, he doesn't want to. But they kind of overstepped that a lot to make it action packed. But it's still action packed, and the backstory that he doesn't really want to do it. And Stallone's vulnerability shines through in a lot of them, and escalates this from a generic action series to something a lot more. And I think if you haven't seen Rambo, at least watch the first one. I think you get a kick out of it. So that's my latest choice. I think the Rambo series is worth your while, and if you like action, you can't get any better than this. I'll see you soon.